Hold on, let him finish his explanation.
That's an interesting thing.
So under 37 is when this all works. Above 37.
The system is still operational.
I'm getting all your emails.
However, yes, you're going to minimize the
Especially
collision,
mine.
right? So if you're driving
Well, two
and an
mics,
accident
actually.
occurs in front of you at 65 miles an hour, do the math. If the closing rate is less than 37 miles an hour, the car will not hit whatever is that in front of it.
Assuming there's
Closing rate is the issue, right? Because everything's relative. Right?
Well, it's heat fog, is this infrared, is this sonic?
Absolutely. So you will see the fog. You're going to see, I mean, the system's absolutely amazing. And the one thing is that it does wait to the last second. It stops with this much space between whatever it is. Because there's a reason. Because if someone is behind you, it minimizes it increases the distance that the person behind you has to stop. So they do, absolutely, without a doubt.
Now, will you demo that for us on the test ride?
I'm sorry.
Will you demo that for us on the test ride?
Unfortunately, we can't demo it on the test ride. I do have video of it of myself demoing it. I was driving, and actually, the CPA Plus is. You always have full control of the vehicle. So if you do have any kind of driver input during the audible tones that come on beforehand, the car will not activate brakes. It's meant for when you are literally not paying attention. When something happens that you do not see, that's when it's going to happen. Okay, so the car, you're always in control of the car. It's never going to autonomous stuff. You will be occasionally with the radar if there's a certain dip in the road. You can get the auto tones, but no brake activation. You're going to get beep, 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 and hit what that people actually complain about sometimes. But it's so rare that it's worth keeping the system active.
Does this one steer itself too?
No, it does not. Not hard. So that may
Do you have to go up higher to get that?
it's available in our C. It's available on
Sting Busy?
Toyota's got it.
Yeah. So yeah, we've shut down
Yeah,
our
you can
business.
drive with your hands off the wheel.
It's been real nightmare with this. Very, very tight.
When I grow up, okay. When I get to coffee.
They haven't integrated the way that system works. On our car doing event, I know how it works. They have stereoscopic cameras that monitor lane markings. That's its primary way of doing that. Its secondary way of doing that in our new C-Class and all the 2015 driver assistant technology uses the radar. And since this has the radar that functions in a different manner, they haven't programmed it to go back and forth.
Do you have a card? Yeah, because I have a friend that just bought a diesel-powered four-cylinder Mercedes.
Yes.
That has he's been to dealerships. It's a four-door sedan. Okay, and he can't find anyone who really can describe that system.
Yes. I'll give you my card and I'll talk to him. No problem.
Yeah,
If
okay.
he wants to come down, so we're going to be.
Yeah,
Definitely this is
if you know, are you here all the time? Or?
Monday and Tuesday, I'm free.
Okay.
So every other day.
Don't forget to give me the card.
I'll give you guys all my cards at the end of this.
Okay, and also a brochure I'm looking for on the smart car, I think.
Elena?
I found a couple laying around.
Smart car brochures?
I might have a few. They don't make them anymore. They go green.
Right. So all this, I was just going to say, yeah, all the smart literature is going to be online now. The car is 85% recyclable.
Yeah.
So they're really pushing into that non-environmental. Actually, the Mercedes-Benz factory in Johnson, Alabama is a zero waste factory. Literally zero waste. There's no garbage or anything. This one's made in Germany. I haven't been to the factory in Germany, but I've been to the factory in customers.
Well, a lot of the parts could have been made here at that rate and assembled in
This car comes from Germany.
Oh, okay.
Right, so the Alabama factory actually produces our C-Class, our GL, our ML, so the new GLE, the new GLC. Certain vehicles are going to be produced in Alabama, but not all. So,
It'll be worth more as a collector car, I guess.
yes.
When Rolls-Royce tried to make Rolls-Royce with the US country in the 1920s, it was not impossible.
Okay, so we've gone over a bunch of the technical specs. Let me think. I believe. You know what? So our CLA. This is actually our second front-wheel drive variant we've ever made. Ever. So I have to find this data out. But is anyone here like familiar with something called torque steer? Does anyone know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, torque steer from non-equidistant axles in the front, right?
Yeah.
Because the transmission is a big problem. It used to be. And what the manufacturers did was they actually used our ABS system to brake the wheel that was causing the stored torque steer. So, but here's the thing: that is a good idea and a bad idea because it reduces power. Why would you do that?
It also wears the brakes.
Exactly. Thank you. So what Mercedes has done, at least with the CLA, and I need to find out is about the B class. I'm assuming they did it. I have not felt torque steer in this car, but in the CLA they actually manufactured it physically with these really equidistant brakes. Yeah, it was the shape backs. So there is no torque steer in the Mercedes. For some reason,
this one's asymmetrical.
I would assume it is. I don't know for a fact, but I'm saying I've never felt torque steer in this. And since the CLA was the first front-wheel drive car to come out, they did that. They made it asymmetrical. So I need to find that out. Okay, the ABS system. All of the other car manufacturers in the U.S. So Mercedes invented ABS. They have a little patent on it. They sell it to other car manufacturers for $1.
Generally, yeah.
So that they can have it to make it more safe. Cutting costs, the DOT requires that the ABS works at 18 times per second. Our car works at 32 times a second. We're the only manufacturer that runs 32 times a second in the ABS, and it's actually it can vector torque from wheel to wheel. There's actually a module right here. This guy. This is the control unit for the ABS, and it literally can brake individual wheels. The traction control on this car is literally second to none. They put me in a SLK 55 with 451 horsepower on a skid pad at the factory. With the traction control off, I could not keep the car straight at all. No matter what I did, the car was 360. Turned the traction control on and tried to get it to go, would not move. I literally could not get the car to slide as hard as I tried. Full throttle, 40 miles an hour when you rip the wheel over, the car literally went. That was it. I mean, we're talking like ice, steel pavement, about this much rubber on it. And ridiculous. The traction, you can drive this car through a 3-inch deep puddle just on the left side of the car, and the thing will track straight through the puddle.
So what's your daily driver?
A C250. Yes.
Okay, so that's why 451 horsepower is a little foreign.
Yeah, well, my C250 it's about just over half of that. Did a couple things to it to make it a little more quick.
All right.
But again,
That's why we have the
I live in Santa Cruz, so I go over
prevention
17
assist
every day.
and all
That
those.
is a big thing.
And
Those are huge. They're amazing.
I can do
Well,
70
the
miles
one
an hour
that catches the rear end.
going over 17. I've never had an accident.
All right. Well, I want to be in your will then.
Yes, it's an amazing. The traction control on Mercedes is literally second to none. Let's see here. Okay, let's go to the inside of the car now. I just want to show you some little details of the inside.
I don't know.
A lot of people ask, what is this?
I specialize in smart.
It works in.
For me, that I'm not going to be able to answer. It's still a little bit new. I'm about 7 months in, so.
So the car is smart enough to know what time of day it is and what angle the sun is coming from. So this car will, if you're driving down the freeway and you got your AC pumping and the sun's on it, it's 4:30 in the afternoon, the sun's on the inside of the car on the driver's side. This car will literally increase the AC on the driver's side and decrease the AC on the passenger side. And keep the cabin compartments relatively correct. The other thing about this functions in another way also. This car actually takes around 180 data points. It knows how long you've been driving, how fast you've been driving, what time of day it is, and then they're really smart. It monitors all of the buttons on the inside of the car for activity, feeds the data into an algorithm, and can tell when you become tired before you know that you're tired.
Then what does it do?
It also has a steering angle sensor. accelerate and pedal and brake, so it can tell what's going on as far as it built in an algorithm. When you become tired, you're going to get 3 audible tones. Beep, beep, beep. Attention assist is going to come up on the center console here. I've had it go off on me 2 times. Both of the times driving down to LA. Left Santa Cruz at 8 p.m. Get to Santa Clarita around 10:30ish, roughly. Attention assist went off. Woke my fiance up. She's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "I'm getting tired. Pull over, get a coffee, get out."
So it won't call 911 on
I'm not gonna call 911. No. But it's just one other thing that's a standard feature on all of our Mercedes. You guys know the statistics with tire driving. It's worse than so they really solved that problem. There's a couple little. I wish I could do
I've heard.
Analysis.
some of the instrument clusters. It's
supposed to be quite
it gives you acceleration. It gives you your constant. It also gives you coasting. So you can play this game where you try to get the green bars higher to increase your range.
Yep.
So very fun game to play actually when you're driving. Fun. It's really interesting. I have driven these over 17 before and Smart Electric. I get to the top and I'm at like 15%. I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna make it home. Coming down the hill, big charges like 40%. I'm fine.
Regen rocks.
Yeah, exactly. So the seats fold down standard in all our cars now. It's they fold down flat. Yeah, no, they don't usually let the headrest drop.
Yeah, you gotta drop the headrest. Same as in Toyota.
You don't have more space in the car.
Pardon me.
Thank you.
Yeah, lower the headrest.
Yeah, you could take them out. Yeah, you could.
They don't take them out, just lower it when you lower them to low position.
I know, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys something real quick. If you guys want to step here or there, it's going to warn me that we're not in park. I'm just going to go ahead and roll forward about an inch just to get the car active. Okay, now watch this. I'm just going to do what I... Hold on 1 second here. Why is this... This one might need to go into service because the hold feature is not on this car right now. That is interesting.
You busted it, dude.
I think I may have. Yeah, the one feature you want to show, it does. Absolutely. What is that? Yes. Okay. So it does have rain sensing windshield wipers. So right now the windshield wipers are on. They will not operate unless there's water on the actual. You know what? I know what the problem is here.
Maybe it is
No, I
working
know
and
what the problem
everybody's
is.
standing around.
It's not that. Yeah, that's the problem. You guys are all looking at it.
Oh yeah, the hood's open. That's right.
Oh, the check's hood open?
Yeah, Jerry, you were right at the top of that. That's why.
Okay. So, these are some. So the display right here. So if you guys are, I mean, we have kind of that Mediterranean environment where it's never too hot, it's never really too cold. But for places like if you're driving this through the desert or something, you get out and you get a cup of coffee or get something else, there is actually a button here. You can basically turn the system on and off, and it will keep the temperature in the car the same temperature as when you got out of the vehicle up to 40 minutes. It's going to reduce your range, obviously. The heater in the car, horrendous. Never use the heater, please. Don't ever use a heater in an electric car. It has it, but unless you're... It does have heated seats, yes. So that's...
Is it water heated or is it solid state?
It's solid. It's going to be solid state. That's the issue. So
Well, that could be less or more.
it's much less efficient. So, well, you can actually watch it happen. I can watch.
No, I believe you.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, with solid state, you can choose how much you pump. Much more easily than you can heating water.
I see what you mean. Like I can set it for 72 degrees instead of 90.
More accurate.
More accurately, that's correct. But what I mean is when people are used to using car heaters, what do you do when you get in the morning? Blast that thing, right? You do that in this car, The nice thing is you get instantaneous heat. There is no warm-up period.
Just a second.
It's like, I mean, the cold air that's in the ducts, that's the cold air you feel, and then it's on.
Question.
You do, yes, absolutely. But that's a nice thing. But what I mean is, you know, if you're going through some place that's very frigid, say Tahoe or something like that, you don't want to really utilize the heater as much because it's going to make your range drop to like 55 miles or something.
Question.
So we're talking massive drops.
Do they use resistance heat, or do they use the air conditioner as a heat pump? And there is an air conditioner, right?
I may not understand the question. I'm sorry.
You have air conditioning in the car?
We do.
Okay. An air conditioner is actually a one-way heat pump.
Agreed.
They can make it go both ways. Do you use the resistance heat with a resistor, or do they use the air conditioner as a
It's two separate
pump?
systems.
Okay, so
Because
they don't use it.
if it was the other way around, it would be much more efficient. The AC
Yeah.
in this car is extremely efficient. The car barely notices that it's on. It's not. It's going to reduce your range by 2 miles.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
so I'm
when the heat
wondering why
comes
they
on,
did do that. Yeah,
I think it's because of instantaneous heat.
No,
I'm not 100% sure.
it's got to
Should
be.
work.
Adding another 10 or 15 seconds for it to heat up is worth
it, yeah.
cutting your mileage in half.
I'm not sure why they didn't do that. It's a good question, though. I'm not 100% sure why.
It costs very little to do, and that's why I was wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right here, this is going to be your center display. These arrows here are going to control everything on the center display. I tell people that this center display is like a cylinder. If you can imagine that, the menu or the UI actually is like a cylinder cut into slices. The up arrow, you can go around the cylinder. The left and right arrow, you can switch slices. So if I push up, 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 I'm going to come right back to where I was. And then if I push to the right, I can actually go into my navigation, give me some data there. Audio, I can switch my presets from the steering wheel. Go into audio. I'm already there. Go into the telephone. I can actually access my entire phone book just from the steering wheel. Going over here, you've got some data that the car, like settings for the car, your electronic stability program. The assistance graphic is a silly thing Mercedes has on all their cars. It's just a car on the road. Don't know why they have it. If I push down or back, I can get into the ESP. The distance warning, this is your collision prevention assist plus. You can turn that off if you don't like it. Attention assist, you can also turn that off if you want to take the chance of driving tired and it's bothering you. Blind spot assistance here uses also very similar technology, ultrasonic radar that senses on the outside of the car when a car is in your blind spot.
Ultrasonic and radar are two different technologies.
So this one is ultrasonic.
Okay.
Okay. This one is basically it can sense closing distance also. So if a car, like a motorcycle doing 100 miles an hour, you're doing 40, it will not activate the system because it knows by the time you put your blinker on and get over there, the motorcycle is going to be out of your blind spot. So it's that smart where it'll know it's only if and only if the car will be in the blind spot when you get there. That's the only time it's ultrasonic on this one. Yeah, not radar. Let's see here. You can turn that system off as well. You have your service indicators. This car has a 10,000 mile or 1 year service interval, depending on which one comes first. You can check tire pressure. You have your e-cell settings. So here's your departure time. You can actually tell it when you want it to charge all the way for the extra charge. You can set the charge times. Here's your pre-entry climate adjustment. When it's plugged in, you can do that as far as timing. It has a couple different, you can see here, maximum 13 amp or 10 amp. You can actually tell it how you want it to charge. I don't know why anybody would want it to charge at 10 amps. Maybe if you're going on vacation.
Or if you have a circuit breaker at home that's just
10 amps.
Cut it.
Exactly. Yeah. So it does have options for all of those things. Let me check one other place here. You can adjust things in the instrument cluster. You have daytime running lights, ambient lighting in the car. They did a study that's found out that ambient lighting in a car reduces the stress of driving somehow on a psychological level. So most of our cars, if not all of them, have it standard or as an option at this point. You can change the surround lighting. There's a ton of options in here. You can just go through. It's a regular Mercedes, essentially. You have automatic door locks, acoustic locks for acoustic lock feedback.
Yeah, that's really
Did I not turn it on? Hold on 1 second here. Is the door on the doors? That little audible tone, you can turn that on or off.
Audible meaning alarm?
Yeah, the just for confirmation that you've locked the vehicle. The lights will flash all the time, but you get the audible. You can turn the audible confirmation on or off. Then you have factory resets, and we're back to the other side of the slice.
So before we're done, you got to find out what the weight of this car is for.
I can do that. Easy, very easy.
So
Oh.
says 3950 and says 28 kilowatts.
Ooh.
Yeah, 28 kilowatts. That's the number.
Well, okay, so what did you hear for?
28 kilowatts.
Kilowatt hour.
Wait,
and the battery pack?
kilowatt hours. Wait,
Kilowatt hour. It's a 28 kilowatt hour battery pack.
I think the 40 number came from the 40 amp charger, perhaps. That may have been. Sorry.
Because I know you're
Miles,
part of
but
that.
you're only
Yeah.
going 84 miles, so you take 84%.
Right.
So 28 kilowatt hour pack?
Yes.
Usable.
That's the 20. Yeah, that's all the numbers are 28 kilowatt. That's what I've got.
So almost 4,000 maybe? Well, let's find out what if this matches.
That number does sound right, but I'll pull the dealer ordering guide and get you the exact number of the curb
All
weight
right,
for
so
it.
that's like 6 or 8 years more at least.
What's
A little bigger pack.
Or more.
gives you the same range.
It's also 100 times safer than the lead. So, yes. Yes.
No,
No,
it's
eight-
not.
18.
Just over 200,000. Like 21. Yep. For electric is heavier. The gas version is 600 pounds.
£4,000.
Yeah.